Could be using tools where you get the market information updated every day on a permanent basis from
a website.
uh, yeah,
Yes, so there
plus
is
balance sheet and everything.
yes, of course, but those are proprietary. But yeah, see, I know one guy who had built one Excel and
Yeah,
he had done a feed from NSC, but he will get
correct,
prices with 15-minute delay. But that was
correct.
10 years ago. That time only he
Yeah,
was able to do it. So you
yeah.
can build Excel and pull prices from,
Yes,
and I don't know how he did it. He did it in Excel. He was not even a techie guy. He was a CA.
Oh no, it's not that complicated. In fact, you can do it using Python. Beautiful soup to scrap the data and link it to an Excel file so that the data gets updated immediately.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is you are still talking about Excel solutions, right? You can use some fancy tools also. There might be some nice tool in the market. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
if you
you
are
can
looking for
use a fancy tool, but something that you can do very cheap or literally free would be using Python and Excel.
yeah, or I can say ki maybe take one license of some nice cheap tool and then
Yeah,
outsource it.
we could crowd fund the tool.
Exactly. I believe in that actually. I believe that there might be some very efficient tools. Finding that itself will take some effort. Some very
Yeah,
efficient and
because
very cheap tools.
we should
Somebody would
have
have
some
built it.
tool that is good, but also that enables many users to connect. Because what happens is most of these tools, when you buy with the license, they'll only restrict it to few number of people, or maybe sometimes even one person.
Look at options like, for example, Netflix, right? A lot of people are sharing
Yeah,
Netflix. Once you
correct,
buy
correct, correct, correct,
that 4-1, it
correct.
actually in that 4-1, I think at the same time 4 people can watch. But generally, even if 8 people have it, it is highly unlikely. The probability of 4 watching together is very less.
Yeah,
That works very efficiently. So if you have that 8 wala plan, 4 wala plan, easily 8 people can share. Amazon Prime, I think, is not restricting at all. So I think my Prime, at least 8 or 9 people are using.
okay.
I think we can consider buying something like this. It's also not super expensive.
Yeah, but or obviously the free option is use Excel. I think that guy just used some macros to pull the price. Instead of macros, now you can use Python or something.
Yeah,
Same concept. Either you can build it in Excel or Access. Both are same. One second, huh? Okay, sorry. Okay, but fine. So coming to the topic, we only have 45 minutes left. So I wanted to cover derivatives today. So have all of you done some background reading at least, especially for people who are very new to the topic, in Investopedia or Wikipedia? Those two are very good sources to get the basics of any subject on finance. Yes, no.
I haven't, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So majority have not done any background reading. Huh? Okay. So is there anyone who has at least the basic idea who wants to start off? Or I should start. Guys, answer.
Nishant, but I know, but it's I don't think so. It's very accurate. I think it's just whatever I read in Investopedia. I don't have much experience, but I can try to do some. Uh, I can just to start something. I can start. That's it. But I'm not the expert to explain everything. So
Fine. Do you want to at least give me your understanding so that I know
I
where I
think
should pitch it?
derivatives is something like a instrument which will keep on growing. It can be a investment in stocks. It can be investment in bonds. It can be also FD is also kind of a derivative. If you are earning interest, and currencies, like if you are buying out some American dollars or bitcoins, it's also one kind of derivative. And oil is also one of the.
No, Ranjit, that is not it. Correct. Your understanding is completely wrong. So you have looked at a product which is based. Okay, so the literal definition, the English definition, as the word literally translates into, is what it is. So derivative means it derives its value from something else. Okay. Now let me give you a very simple example. You have I have my mobile. The mobile is a physical asset, or the laptop I'm using. I'm taking the example of laptop. Let's take it's easier. The laptop is a physical asset. So this laptop is worth 50,000. So I bought it for 50,000. Now, based on the value of this laptop, I will try to do a trade with Ranjit because I expect that in the next 6 months, there will be no supply of laptops in the market for whatever reason. Okay? So I expect that there will be no supply of laptops in the market. And as the basic rule of economics says, supply and demand, but there will be demand. People will want to buy a laptop. So considering that, what do you guys think? What will happen to the value of the laptop 6 months from now? No, 3 months from now. For the next 6 months, for whatever reason, there cannot be single laptop manufactured in the market. But there will be a lot of people who will want to buy laptops. The laptop I hold, after 3 months, will its value increase or decrease?
Increase.
If the demand is increases, definitely it's increases.
The probability of price increasing is more, right?
More. Yeah.
Now, I am one party. I have a laptop with me, but I feel that supply will be there for whatever reason. I have a different viewpoint. I feel that the supply will be there and the price may decrease. Whereas on the other hand, there is Ranjit. I'm just taking his name. So Ranjit or X. Okay, I just use names. I hope it's okay with you guys, right? As examples, or I can use A, B, C, D, whatever.
No problem.
Okay. So on the other side, Ranjit is there, and he expects that there will be no supply, but he will need a laptop 3 months from now. So he is expecting the price of laptop to go up. I am expecting the price of laptop to go down. For any derivative contract to happen, this is the basic fundamental. There has to be a buyer and a seller. As the seller, I am expecting the price to go down. As a buyer, he is expecting the price to go up. So between me and Ranjit, we will do a contract. This is known as a forward contract. And this forward contract is a derivative. So the forward contract is nothing. It is not a physical, tangible thing. The price of that forward contract is dependent on the price of the laptop. So what Ranjit was trying to say is, he was trying to talk about currency futures or oil futures, fixed income. There are very less futures traded in fixed income, but yeah, you can have interest rate swaps, total return swaps, and obviously you have all these equity futures, right? What you do, Nifty options and futures, FNO, what you say. These are all part of derivative products. Is this concept clear?
So, Nishant, I have one question. This is Nimit. So, is it always about the future and options, or can derivative be traded in current scenario as well?
No, when you say current scenario means, see, there are different products for derivatives. So so there are different products. So future is a product, options is a product. I'll come to each of the products that are available in derivatives. But can you elaborate your question? Like you are saying, if you want to buy as of today for today's settlement, that is not a derivative, right? That is a spot. So if you want to buy this laptop from me today, there is no speculation, right? Whatever is the price today, we will agree to it and we will close the deal.
Okay.
This speculation only comes in when the settlement will happen in future. And now in the real world, the game is at a different level where settlements are not even happening. is just madness.
Okay, so basically, this derivative is always we are talking about the future trade.
Yes, and there are different products to it. So I will come to the products.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, it has to be something in the future. But the first fundamental question that I'm trying to, first fundamental concept that I want you guys to understand is derivative in itself is nothing. It is deriving its value from a product. So I can write a derivative on a laptop, on a bottle of water, on a mobile, on weather, on every damn thing you can think of, on a car, on a fridge, on land, on house, on anything and everything. Is this is basically created as a product of financial engineering. All the people who went to Harvard and whatever to make some money, they created this product. Its basic use is very good and it has been in existence for last 400 years. But what we are doing in the last 20, 30 years is nothing short of gambling. But anyways, I'll come to that stage in the next few sessions. But for today, the focus is on understanding the concept. Is the concept clear? Okay, so two primary conditions, you can be written on any asset. And secondly, there has to be two parties with opposing views. A trade can only happen when somebody thinks the price will go up and somebody thinks price will go down. If both of us feel price will go down, we will never do a trade.
Nishant, is this derivative contract like dated? I mean, it is like, okay, 3 months from today, what will be the price? For example, uh, if the price of after, I mean, on the 91st day, the price is different. Can we move the day to one more day, or it is like it can change?
Yeah, so there are different products. Okay, so when I'm talking, so I will give you all the details. I want to come to the products next, but
Okay.
to answer your question, I will answer it with a futures contract, which is traded on an exchange. So today, say if I am doing a trade with you on Infosys futures, so the price we will agree today. Price is 1,000. So between you and me, we will agree. I am the buyer, you are the seller, for example. So I am buying the future from you, and you are buying, you are the selling. And also in futures, what they do is I cannot do it for one share. It will be a lot. So say 100 shares. Current price is 1,000. When I do an Infosys future trade with you, current price is 1,000. Number of shares is 100. The total value of the contract is 1 lakh. So I am the buyer, you are the seller. So I will pay you 1 lakh and do this deal. Now the fun, how it happens in future actually is that instead of 1 lakh, I will only give you 20,000 for now. In future, there will also be a middleman, which is the exchange or the broker, because it's not between just me and you. We have a middleman in between. But this all when I'm talking about products. But so this 1 lakh, instead of 1 lakh, 20,000 I have paid to you. And the difference I will pay you on the time of settlement. If I take physical settlement from you. Now the game is I have bought at 1,000. So you have to give me shares after 3 months if I ask you. If I don't ask you, you don't have to give. That is called physical settlement or non-physical settlement. Okay. Now coming to the price part, if in the next 3 months, say after 1 month, the price becomes 1,200, I take the profit. Now in the real world, how it happens is because it's traded on an exchange at 1,200, I can go and sell it to someone else because it's a liquid market, because there are more buyers and sellers. Are you following or have I lost you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. On the 90th day, the contract ends. Now, in case I do not sell it for 1,200 on the 30th day, on the 90th day, say the price is 700, then I am forced as the buyer to sell it at 700 and the 300 loss is mine.
So
But
Nishant,
If the
actually,
price
Nishant,
is 1,500 on the
Nishant, you are allowed to also price your contract different let's say out of 100 lots, you can price a different amount of lots during different periods within that time frame, right?
No, the
Generally,
price
you
changes.
can.
No, the price changes based on the market demand and supply. So every
Correct.
minute in the exchange, the price will change. But yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Let's go step by step. Without
Okay.
getting the concepts, if you guys jump to all this, it will become all punchy. Okay. So the questions are good, but these are questions after you have got the basic.
Yeah.
But basics are clear, right? Key takeaway first is understand how a derivative contract is made, on which product it can be made, okay? And it is always for a future value. These three things are clear. Now let's start with the basic first product that was invented. The first product that was invented is known as a forwards contract, okay? And today I'm speaking, tomorrow you guys will do a research and come back to me, how much I am able to cover. So forwards contract. Now what is a forward contract? A forward contract is very simple. It is a contract between me and Ranjit, and we will set all the terms and conditions. So it is between two parties, fully customizable, no third party in between. Me and Ranjit will do this forward contract, and how we will do. I will go to Ranjit and say, so tell me one use case in the real world now. This is there are many use cases, but from the real world, tell me a use case. Okay, I'll give you guys 3 minutes to think. I am wanting to sell something and Ranjit is the buyer, and we will do it for 3 months. So what can be a use case, real world use case?
I can explain. I can explain a real world use case, Nishant, if it's okay.
Tell me. Go on.
Okay. So let's say that currently we are sitting in a month of May, and in a 3 or 4 months time frame, Diwali is coming. Okay. And let's say I am a sweet maker, sweets. I have a sweet shop, and Ranjit is a sugar merchant. Okay, so I know that in the 3 months time frame, I have to buy a lot of sugar in order to make sweets, because the demand of sweets goes up because Diwali is coming, or some other occasion is coming up. While Ranjit has a lot of production already going on, and he wants to make sure that he is getting correct money after 3 months or whatever it is. So I go to Ranjit and say that, okay, Ranjit, I've in the next 3 months I would be needing this much amount of sugar for my sweet shop. So we can have this future trading. That in 3 months time I will be buying X amount of sugar from you at Y price. So that's, I think, something which we can call a bit as a forward trading.
Very excellent example, Nimit. So did you study about it, or you just thought about it just now?
No, I have studied about it a bit in past.
Okay. So the example I usually give whenever I teach people the basics of derivatives is I give the example of the farmer and the baker. Okay, this is a very standard example. So say I am a wheat farmer, and I am expecting that this year I will be producing 5,000 kgs of wheat. Okay, and this produce will come to me in the month of July and August. So basically, I'll be selling it. So we are on May 16th. I'll be selling it on August 16th, or in that week, for example. Now tell me, what is the biggest risk for me? I have 5,000 kgs of wheat, which I got. But what is the biggest risk for me? I am the farmer.
There is no demand when my
Nimit, let
sorry.
others answer.
Sorry. The biggest risk would be that, let's say there is a major, I don't know, cyclone or something that wipes off my crop.
Yeah, that is fine. So that is a risk that I will cover by taking a crop insurance. What is the other risk?
Yeah.
Say I am able to produce it. Wheat got produced. I have 5,000 kgs of it. Then what? Then what is the biggest risk?
He doesn't have assurance for the price, how much he will be winning.
Exactly. I don't know what price. Today the price of wheat is 50, say 20 rupees per kg. But say 3 months from now, if it is 12 rupees per kg, is it good for me or bad for me?
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad, right? Because at 20 rupees per kg, I'll get 1 lakh. And at 12 rupees per kg, I'll get 60,000. Maybe my cost of production itself is 60,000. My profit will be zero. So all the effort that I did for 1 year, anda ho jayega.
Yeah.
That's a very big risk for me, right? So then what is in my best interest?
to hedge it and sell it now.
No. तो hedge and all वो सब concept मत जा भाई अभी. Hedging में चीजें बाद में आएंगी. But the risk for me or to cover my risk is basically I want to lock in my selling price at 20. Right? Is it good or bad for me if I lock in my selling price?
Yeah.
Good. It's good,
right?
Yeah.
So I am one side of the trade. On the other side, I have who all is there in the class today? Say Neha or some new person. So see Ayush. So say Ayush is on the other side. Now he has a big bread factory. So he is the buyer. What is the risk for him?
ब्रेड फैक्ट्री अगर उसका माल 7 दिन में नहीं बिका गया है तो उसका रिस्क है ना, उसका जो प्रोडक्शन है जो भी है वो वेस्ट चले जाएगा.
करेक्ट. वो तो ब्रेड नहीं बिका तो, लेकिन उसका रॉ मटेरियल क्या है?
रॉ मटेरियल इज फ्लोर एंड
तो गेहूं उसका रॉ मटेरियल हुआ ना. बेसिकली गेहूं का बायर वो है ना. ठीक है, तो उसके लिए रिस्क क्या है? अब सोचो, गेहूं उसका रॉ मटेरियल है. सो व्हाट इज द रिस्क फॉर हिम? And guys, sorry, I'm using Hindi. I'm assuming all of you speak Hindi or understand at least.
गेहूं का प्राइस अगर बढ़ जाता है तो उसका
रिस्क. इंग्लिश में बोल लो. आई थिंक सबको हिंदी नहीं आता.
if the price of this गेहूं increase, then the risk will increase. Yeah.
So one risk for the baker is that if today price is 20, if it goes to 25, that is a risk.
Yeah.
So the basic concept, right? Opposite views. One person feels price may go down, one person feels price will go up. Other risk? He may not even get, right? Maybe there is no supply.
Out of stock. Yeah, like out of stock. If
there might be that the total production was only 50,000 kgs, and there were other bakers also who took all the wheat. So he will not have any wheat. No wheat means no atta, no maida, no bread. No bread means no dhanda.
True.
Understanding, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has two risks. So what he wants to do, he also wants to lock in his supplies with a reliable supplier. One, to guarantee it, and two, he also wants to fix the price, right? It's always good. What is the worst thing that business hate? Business people never hate. If you are a businessman or if you are entrepreneur minded, what do you hate most? You hate bad news or you hate surprises? Basically not knowing what the future holds. What is more risky? Bad news or not knowing what the future holds?
Like not
uncertainty.
The inconsistency.
Sorry?
Uncertainty is the more risk. Uncertainty.
Exactly, right? So people hate, any businessman hates uncertainty. It's okay. If it's bad, it's bad. Oh, he knows I'll book the loss and move on. But if I don't know what will happen, that is very risky. So to cover this risk of uncertainty and to have a fixed price, we will also want to get into a contract. So now we have a buyer and a seller. The seller of the product, the seller of the wheat is the farmer and the buyer is the baker. Clear?
Yeah.
Any questions? If you understand this, you will understand everything about derivative. This is the key. If you don't understand it, you will never understand it. So always remember, base pakdo, everything else will be clear.
Okay.
So clear? This concept is clear?
Nishant, I understood. Akash here. I understood the problem here, but how with the derivative it will be solved? I did not understand that part. How derivative come into action?
I will come there now. If you understand the problem, the use case.
Yes. Problem is understood. Yes.
Yes, Nishant, I have one thing like maybe I'm talking not exactly with what happens in the real market, but for example, if I know that this person, for example, that the person who is sitting in north of India, say for example, he needs more sweets. Maybe I will sell him. I know that he is more desperate for this, and he can pay me any price. And maybe somebody who is maybe in Germany, he does not eat so many sweets and he will not pay me that price. So I can vary my price from person to person. You
Yeah,
got
you
my
can do.
question? I mean, like
Yeah,
when we see that person is more desperate, we increase our price.
yeah, but that happens in the spot market, right? And not everyone is an opportunist. So these are long-term business deals. But anyways, this question is from a farmer perspective, right? Yeah, that is a risk. So that we will
Okay.
cover in the next section. So that is why futures were invented. Remember, everything that human beings invent is to solve one problem. So first forwards were invented. So I'm giving you the chronology. Then came futures. Then futures also have some limitations. So then came options. Then they also have some limitations. Then came swaps. Then both swaps and options have some limitations. So they combined it and it's known as a swaption. Then maybe some guy will create a combination of everything. So yeah,
Can
so
you
all
write it, please? Can you write it?
yeah, so we'll cover it anyways. Okay.
Okay,
Just
thank
go to
you.
Wikipedia, it will give you forwards, futures.
Nishant, it was just a suggestion. Because you will put it on YouTube, maybe it will be good that you are on the video. It's just a suggestion.
Ah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I can do that. Switch on the video.
Yeah, I mean, like people won't. I mean, no people who are other than us. Maybe they would like to see you.
Yes, it's fine. Yeah, I actually
We
forgot.
know you, so it doesn't matter. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Thanks for for reminding me. Fine. So yeah, so on forwards, yeah, so that is possible. That is where the risks come in. So I will ask the risks the next few minutes or next session. But yeah, so basically the use case is you have a farmer who has two risks. One, he produces 5,000 kgs of wheat and there are no buyers. And two, even if he has buyers, the price fluctuates because the wheat is not available with him. And there is a third very important factor here that he doesn't have the wheat readily available. He will only have it after 3 months. So he wants to lock in three things. So he wants to lock in a price basically. So he agrees for 20 rupees per kg. On the other side, we have a baker who's scared that he may not get how much wheat he needs. He needs the supply. He also is afraid that the price may go up when he needs it. It may go to 25, 30, 35. And uh, these two, right? What was the other risk? Yeah, these are the two risks for the baker and two risks for the farmer. So both these parties, now they want to cover their risk. So they do a contract with each other. Now this contract is based on each other's trust. Okay, in the real world, many years ago when it started, it was just based on word. People used to trust each other's word. Even today, a lot of deals happen in the real world based on trust. In some cases, or in many cases, when people cannot trust each other, they also do a document. But in countries like India, when our labor laws or the contract laws are not that strong, it doesn't really work. In some countries, it works better, where they have much stronger labor laws or contract laws, which can be enforced in a timely manner. So usually, yeah, even for a contract, people do a physical agreement, but there is always the risk that one of the parties does not fulfill it. That is one of the very big risks with the forward contract. But this is how a forward contract is done. And if all goes well on the settlement date, so 3 months from now, August 16th, I will go, I am the farmer. I will go and Ranjit is the baker. I will supply the 5,000 kgs of wheat to Ranjit and he will pay me 1 lakh rupees. In order to do this contract, just to have some trust factor, Ranjit may give me an advance amount of 10,000 rupees or whatever we agree mutually. Key factors to understand here in a forward contract is it is between two people who trust each other. Very important. Trust is very important. It is fully customizable. So me and Ranjit can do 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever time period we want. We can do settlements as and when we want. So say if me and Ranjit both agree, we can say that, okay, every month you keep paying me 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. And after 3 months, I'll give you the wheat and then you pay me the remaining 70,000. So however we want, based on our mutual understanding. So key things to remember. Customizable. Yeah, trust and customizable.
And Nishant, there is no third party here in the forward contracts.
No third party.
Okay.
Okay, this is how this was invented. Okay, chronology abhi samjhaunga.
Okay.
So these were your earliest forms of forward contracts. Any questions, guys? Now you can ask your question on what I explained. No? Okay, fine. Now in today's world, what has happened is generally the buyer and seller did not. So this is applicable when you know when buyer and seller know each other. So it works very well in a very small town. Now coming to Neha's use case. Say the seller of the sweet is somewhere in Maharashtra, and the buyer of seller of sugar is in Maharashtra. The buyer of sugar is somewhere in Assam.
Nishan, I'm sorry, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So suppose there is a product, okay, one product like mobile phone, Samsung mobile phone. So there is a buyer who wants to buy that mobile in a 50 rupees, and there is a seller who want to sell that product in 50 rupees. So in that case, there is a buyer and there is a seller also. So in that case, the price of that product will not decrease as well as not increase, right? So how that future contracts premium prices goes up, goes down? How? What is the theory behind that? Be because without buyers and
I
seller,
didn't get
the contracts will not close, right?
Yeah, but you are jumping to futures, right? I'll explain how it works. I will come there.
No,
In this forward, what I explain.
not in future also. Any product like cash also, like
Like, so in
equity.
this
Yeah.
product which we agreed in this example that I gave, in the spot market, every day the price of wheat will be changing, right? Because there are other people also. But we have done an agreement that I will sell you 5,000 kg of wheat at 20 rupees on this and this day. So that is binding right now. Agreement हो गया ना अपना. अभी
Yeah.
कल
Yeah. Yeah.
अभी आज मैं फार्मर हूँ, राइट? इस एग्जांपल में मैंने जैसे समझाया, मैं फार्मर हूँ.
True.
मैंने आपको ये बेचा 20 रुपए पर केजी में, और आपने मेरे से खरीदा, और हमारा सेटलमेंट है अगस्त 16 का, 3 महीने बाद. तो कल आके आप मेरे को नहीं बोल सकते हो, राइट, कि मेरे को तू 5,000 केजी दे, क्योंकि मैंने आपको बोला मैं आपको अगस्त 16 को दूंगा. लेकिन कल मई 17 को कोई और भी होगा ना. मैं अकेला तो फार्मर नहीं हूँ, मार्केट में समझ लो 5 लाख फार्मर है. कोई दूसरा फार्मर होगा और कोई दूसरा बेकर होगा, वो 21 रुपए में खरीदेगा. वो स्पॉट मार्केट, वो तो चलते रहेगा ना. वो तो डेली का डिमांड सप्लाई है ना.
ओके ओके.
कल 21 भी हो सकता है, 19 भी हो सकता है, 17 भी हो सकता है, 25 भी हो सकता है. वो तो डेली का ट्रेडिंग है.
हाँ या गॉट इट.
सही है ना?
या ट्रू.
Okay. So now in the real world, what happens is, like I was giving the use case, Maharashtra mein there is this guy who is going to have 1,000 kgs of sugar 3 months from now. But the buyer is not, he doesn't know the buyer. The buyer is sitting somewhere in Assam or anywhere else. So there you introduce someone called a middleman, and he will charge commission. Understood? Questions?
Yes, clear.
Now this middleman in the real world are most of the large investment banks, and the product which they do is called OTC, which is over the counter derivative, which is nothing but forwards and all. There are many products, but yeah, I will not go into all the products because they'll be too confusing. But yeah, so it stands for over the counter. And this is highly profitable business for a lot of banks. Questions, doubts?
Is there any case where investment banking, you said in between, he might end up losing? Neither he can't buy or neither he can't sell. Or do you see any risk on investment banking side?
Yeah, there are risks. So people lose money. It happens frequently. कहीं कमाता है, कहीं गवाता है, वो चलते रहता है. That is part of business, ना? But in most of the time, if you are middleman, you don't care, right? The deal is between you and. So in this case, say I become the bank, and the deal is between you and Akash. Akash also trusts me. You also trust me. I do the deal, but I don't take any risk. I'm just charging commission to both of you. If Akash runs away, that is loss for you. But yeah, in case, so then there is something called underwriting. When I say that I guarantee that both parties will fulfill their obligation. It means if Akash is the buyer, he will buy. If Ranjit is the seller, he will sell. In that case, then I charge higher fees. Okay, but I don't want to get into all that business. But yeah, in short, yeah, there are always, for everything, there is a solution. Now, tell me, in this forward contract that I explained, the standard contract between me as the farmer and Ranjit as the baker, what are the risks? Come on, guys, start saying. If you understood the concept, you will understand the risk.
The risk could be one guy might be break the contract.
Ranjit, wait, let the others try. So Ranjit, Neha, Nimit, and Kunal, you think? Correct? I think I have got another 4 people on the call.
Can you repeat your question, please?
The question is, I am the farmer who has agreed to sell
Correct.
5,000 kgs of wheat to Ranjit, the baker,
Correct.
as on
Correct.
16th of August
Correct.
at the price of 20.
Correct.
Okay. And there are also some terms I forgot to explain. So August 16th
Correct.
is known as the settlement date in this contract.
Correct.
The price that we agree is known as the agreed price, or I don't know what word they are using nowadays. The word, but there is a word for it. Okay, in the futures contract, they call it the futures price. In the forward price, I will
Okay.
just use the word forward price. And the price at which, and today's price of wheat is say 19 rupees. Today, if I am selling, I will sell at 19. That is known as a
Correct.
spot price. The
Correct.
words that you need to remember is forward price, spot price, and settlement date. So settlement date is
Correct.
very important. So he cannot come on any day and say, "अरे भाई, मेरे को wheat दे दो." Only on 16th August को आना. पहले मत आना.
Correct.
Yeah. So the question is, what is the risk between this deal between me and Ranjit? What all can go wrong? What can go wrong?
That the price
Who's this?
goes
Kunal, na?
below.
Kunal, no, don't. Kunal, don't answer. I want the others, except
Okay.
4 of you, to also participate. And
Yes,
guys, I'm sorry, I'm putting you on spot, but I want everyone to get involved in the session. This is not just me speaking. I want all of you guys to involve. I cannot be there physically, but think of it like you are in a room. I assume that you are in a classroom sitting with me and you are talking to me.
For the baker,
That's
the risk, if I may jump in, for the baker, the risk would be if the price changes. Like he bought it, he did a deal, he did a futures contract at 20 rupees per kg. But as it turns out, in August, the price went down like 15 rupees per kg. So the baker is at loss. Like,
correct. Very valid point. Very good, Ayush. Yeah. So this is what I want people to say. So is this clear to everyone?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So
So
in this
this is
case,
when
now
they can do a washout.
so now this is the risk. Sorry.
They can do a washout.
Kunal, don't go into washouts and all. Don't want to talk all those concepts here. First, let's get the basics right. Okay, wash out and all, then everything will go wash out here. Nothing will go inside. Let's not get into so much complex. I'm trying to simplify it. Don't complicate it. So now here, basically the baker has a risk that as on 16th of August, the actual price turns out to be 15, but he has already committed to buy at 20. That is a risk for him. Now in the real world, he has to bear the risk. But again, I'm talking about risk here. So what happens now? This is the risk that baker has, which I agree. What will happen? What can happen now? Remember, this is a forward between me and Ranjit. So what can Ranjit do?
Maybe he can like, if I may jump in, he can like trade the contract and take less quantity, like, or no, sorry, he can take more quantity of grains.
No, but how he will get more quantity? He has agreed, right, to buy at 20. So I will give him only 5,000 kgs, na? And he has to pay me 1 lakh. Why will I give him more?
Okay.
Now it's open for all.
Maybe he can find two vendor or three vendor or four vendor, and he can means he can try to decrease his risk, like.
Correct. That is fine, Amol. That is so at the beginning he can do trade with multiple people. But now I am saying for this contract, focus karo. Abhi udhar expand mat karo. Focus on this use case only. There is only Ranjit, there is only Nishant. We have done the deal. Abhi finally August 16 को price is 15 रुपया per kg. These are done. अभी रंजीत को 5 रुपए का फटका लग गया. 5 kg के हिसाब से 25,000 का. What can Ranjit do?
He can try to increase his prices of the product, like the bakery products, maybe a bit more.
I'm saying risk to the contract. अभी रंजीत कैसे पैसा बनाएगा उस समय लग गया. What is the risk to the contract? What can Ranjit do?
He will not agree to pay. He will not agree to pay. He will say that I'm not buying it.
वो बोलेगा कि मैं contract fulfill ही नहीं करता हूँ जा. And maybe he gave me advance of only 5,000. उसका तो खाली 5,000 डूबा ना. 25,000 का लॉस होता. सिर्फ 5,000 का लॉस है. 20,000 नहीं है. This is a very big risk in a forward contract, that as it is between only two people with no proper, and पहले तो ट्रस्ट पे होता था. अब वो आज के लोग तो सब नहीं मानते ना. रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई, प्राण जाए पर वचन ना जाए. तो राम राज्य नहीं है. बोलेगा जा भाग, मैं नहीं दूंगा पैसा.
So what is the terminology?
This is a very big risk.
This kind of check out which buyer will say that I don't want to buy it. So what is there any terminology for it? What is the exact economics word for it?
The real world, there are many words, but yeah, in finance we use the word defaulter. But yeah, there are many words for such people. But yeah, so now in the real world, not everyone will do it. But from a business perspective, this is a very big risk, right? That he may default. Now, if it was oral, तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते. पंचायत में जाओ, जो भी है, गांव में पंचायत का भी कुछ वैल्यू होता है, but वो भी आजकल चल नहीं रहा है. And if it is even written, you go to a court and maybe your cost for a lawyer itself will be 20,000. So I will say कि भाई छोड़ दे, इतना कौन time waste करेगा, मैं किसी और को wheat बेच दूंगा. And as a farmer, I will try to maybe store it for some time, and if my cost of storage is less, anyways, I will not get into how the farmer can recoup his losses. But basically, this is a very big risk.
Nishant, I have one question. So this is the forward, which we are talking forward derivative. So, but we are comparing this forward with the spot, and then we are saying that he is at a loss because at that particular day it was low. So we are comparing forward with the spot market, and that's why we are saying it is a loss. But just imagine that if there are, let's say on that particular day, that today when you are doing this derivative thing, hundreds of buyers and sellers are doing it at almost same price, more or less 19-20 hoga, but or almost same price. So all of them will be at the loss, right? So how are we comparing this derivatives with the spot? I don't understand this logic.
I didn't get your question only. Matlab, you are confusing yourself and confusing me also. See, basically, this is a very specific use case, right? In a forward, there might be other forward between, say, you and Nimit and all that, right? But that doesn't matter, na. there is a settlement date, right? As per the deal on 16th, I have to deliver the wheat to him, and he has to deliver the money to me, na? That is the
Yes.
contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
there will be surely there will be an element of loss or a profit. You cannot 100% say that it will be the same price on that day.
correct, yes, but I am saying what is the risk in a forward contract? I'm trying to explain something else. Exactly.
Okay, okay.
So there will be, see, so in this example only, let's say there were 100 such contracts. 95 people were good. So all the 95, in all the 95 cases, the buyer lost because price deal was done at 20. Maybe other people were doing deal at different price also, right? 18, 17, we don't know, because this is customizable. This is not a standard product at all, right? This is just between me and Ranjit. You and Nimit can agree to at 16, and maybe Neha and Ayush can agree at 35. I don't know. Everyone is doing their own deal. So
Yes.
this is not a standard market at all. This is totally customizable between two people.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I agree. Yes.
Okay, so obviously in all of these, at the date of settlement on 16th August, if the price is more than 20, Ranjit won. He benefited. If the price is less than 20, I benefited. But basically, we both agreed that we don't want the risk. I felt 20 is a fair price to sell, and Ranjit agreed that it is a fair price to buy. And if on that day, if the price is 24, Ranjit will be happy कि अच्छा है मेरे को कम में मिल गया, right? And अगर 16 है तो मेरे he will feel that he paid more.
Okay.
Obviously, one of us will feel bad on that day, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
But we agreed that instead of feeling bad on that day, we can feel bad on that day. We traded that for the risk that we avoided. That as a for me, okay, I will feel कि instead of 20 में 24 में बेच सकता था, but हो सकता है मेरा wheat बिकता ही नहीं, because कोई buyer ही नहीं होता. इसीलिए मैंने ये deal किया था ना, because I
Okay.
anticipated some other risk. And I anticipated कि price may go to 18, because that was my opinion today. So based on that opinion only I have done the deal. So we both agreed to take the risk. All I'm saying is, on that day मन डोल सकता है. Human beings, right? Greedy people, greedy, selfish, etc., right? We change our mind. So the system, how will it enforce this contract? The system cannot, because if it is oral, it is just based on trust. So Ranjit will say, ठीक है, भाड़ में जाए तेरा trust. I mean, और भी farmers हैं, मैं उनसे deal कर लूँगा. This is not sustainable in the long term. But Ranjit can do it, right?
Yes.
Sorry, Ranjit. Okay, believe that the price went up. It went to 30, and I am the bad guy here. I said कि मैंने बेचूंगा, मैं 30 में बेचूंगा, मैं तुझे क्यों 20 में बेचूं? और तेरा जो 5,000 एडवांस लिया था वो भी मैं खा जाऊंगा. So this is possible, right? To avoid this risk, all this I explained because I wanted you guys to get the perspective. To avoid this risk, futures were invented. The difference between a future and a forward is, in future there is a middleman exchange. You have more liquidity. If you want to get out before 3 months, you can do that, because you can sell it to someone else. It is a standardized contract, which means Ranjit, Akash, everyone will get the same contract. ऐसा नहीं कि अलग-अलग contract. जो है standardized है. Okay, so this is where I will end. Next 5 minutes, you guys can ask any Q&A. Forwards I explained. You guys can go back and read on it, and if any questions, ask me. But these are the limitations of forward. That is why two things were done. One, a middleman was introduced, which I explained, OTC derivative. Middleman can be a party with both buyer and seller trust. So I will ensure, now if I am just making you guys meet each other, I will charge less commission. If I am guaranteeing, like in this same example, say the trade was between me and Ranjit, and Nimit acted as the middleman. So Nimit will guarantee that even if the price goes at 25, I will deliver the wheat to Ranjit. If the price goes to 15, Ranjit will deliver the money to me. If Nimit guarantees this, he will charge higher commission. He may charge 2 rupees to him, 2 rupees to me. Whatever. Okay, I'm just giving example. That depends on how much Nimit wants to charge. And then similarly, as the market expanded, many middlemen like Nimit also came. So there are millions of middlemen, billions of people doing these trades.
What just happened?
I think he got dropped off.
Nishan just disconnected. Yeah, I think some internet issue.
Okay.
Got dropped off. He joined back.
I think there was some issue. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Nishant, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Nishant,
So
I have a question. So, just like any company is listing itself in the market, so when it is listing itself in the market, does it need to list itself separately in a futures, in like in the derivative market separately as well? Because maybe one company, maybe like they don't want like a futures contract. They are not. They don't like to trade in that way.
no,
Or
the
I'm just
company has got nothing to do with the futures market. Okay, so this is a very important thing that you need to. Company को futures market से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. Company only lists its share in the equity market and they take whatever money they get in the IPO. And that also, or not all the times everything goes to the company. But say a very simple example, I have a company and I want to raise 500 crores and I am going to sell 1 crore shares. So I'm going to price each share at 500 rupees and I'm going to take that 500 crores and run my business. I don't care what happens in the share market after that. I don't have anything to do with it. The share price is determined by the market. Based on my profits, the share price goes up or goes down. That is all market's doing. I don't do anything in it. That is all game played by the investment banks and the brokers and all that. उसमें कंपनी का कुछ भी लेना देना नहीं होता है. मेरा सिर्फ वन टाइम डील है.
okay.
उसके बाद कंपनी कुछ करती ही नहीं है शेयर मार्केट. मैंने 500 करोड़ ले लिया, 1 करोड़ शेयर बेच दिया. अब मार्केट वही लिक्विडिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहा है ना. अब 1 करोड़ शेयर से आकाश ने 1 लाख शेयर खरीद लिया. बट आकाश को ये रहेगा ना कि अगर 1 लाख शेयर खरीद लिया तो मैं इसको करूंगा क्या. तो ही हैज दैट ऑप्शन कि मार्केट इज गिविंग हिम द ऑप्शन कि भाई तुमको नहीं चाहिए तो तुम किसी और को बेच दो. बिकॉज मार्केट क्या है जहां बायर और सेलर है. तो शेयर मार्केट क्या है जहां शेयर बाय और शेयर करते हैं. मछली मार्केट है, फिश मार्केट, वहां मछली बाय और सेल करो. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मार्केट चले जाओ, वहां इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स बिकते हैं. मोबाइल मार्केट चले जाओ, मोबाइल बिकता है. मार्केट इज जस्ट अ प्लेस वेयर बायर्स एंड सेलर कम टुगेदर, नथिंग एल्स.
Okay.
डेरिवेटिव से तो कंपनी को कुछ लेना देना ही नहीं है. वो अलग प्रोडक्ट है. वो हम जैसे लोगों ने बनाया पैसा कमाने के लिए.
Okay. बट ये इसके अंदर इट डिपेंड्स कि जो सेलर होता है वो वॉल्यूम लगा सकता है कि इससे बिलो वॉल्यूम के ऊपर मैं ट्रेड नहीं करूंगा.
मतलब सेलर कौन है? एग्जांपल बताओ.
मतलब वो आपने जो भी एग्जांपल दिया था ना, फार्मर और वो वाला. तो फॉर एग्जांपल फार्मर बोलता है कि मैं 1000 किलो से कम वीट होगा तो मैं नहीं सेल करूंगा. तो प्राइस कुछ भी दे, मेरे को इससे कम में नहीं देना है.
हाँ, वो तो फिक्स है ना. सो वो जब एग्रीमेंट हुआ, जब फार्मर और बेकर का एग्रीमेंट हुआ तो सब चीजें फिक्स थी. क्वांटिटी फिक्स थी 5000 केजी. डेट फिक्स था 16 अगस्त. प्राइस फिक्स था. ये सब चीजें फिक्स होंगी, ये चेंज नहीं हो सकती. अगर वो बेकर आके बोलता है मेरे को 50 केजी का ट्रेड करना है तो मैं बोलूंगा नहीं चाहिए मेरे को मिनिमम इतने पे ही करना है.
ओके.
तेरे साथ नहीं करूंगा, किसी और के साथ करूंगा.
ओके.
These three things are always fixed: quantity, the date of settlement, and the price.
ओके.
बट इसमें देखो एक और.
एंड रियल वर्ल्ड में जो प्रेडिक्शन पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, हाउ आर दे डिटरमाइंड? I mean, for any trade, like I believe that this is like a futures price which we are looking forward for. So, for example, I once heard, but that time I didn't even understand equities properly. So, somebody told me that the price in the futures, when you are losing in your share market, you can put a price in the derivatives. You trade in derivatives, and this is the way you make up for your losses.
अभी उस सब में नहीं जाएंगे, वो बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रेटेजीज है. बट हाँ, बेसिकली इन डेरिवेटिव्स वर्ल्ड देयर इज अ फॉर्मूला कॉल्ड ब्लैक शोल्स फॉर्मूला. वो आज तक मेरे को तो समझ में नहीं आया. बट हाँ, वो किसी ने लिखा है, 2-3 मैथमेटिशियन ने मिलकर ब्लैक शोल्स, ब्लैक और शोल्स से, जैसे वो डकवर्थ लिविस है ना, लोगों ने कुछ एक कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्मूला लिखा है. वो ऑप्शंस और डेरिवेटिव प्राइसिंग में काम आता है. That basically uses time value of money and all, but it's pure maths. But pure maths don't work ना in real world. अभी 3 महीने के बाद अभी वीट का समझ लो. अभी ये जो एग्जांपल था, आज का रेट वीट का 18 है. एज अ फार्मर मैंने बोला कि मैं 20 में डील करने के लिए रेडी हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे को एंटिसिपेशन है कि इतना प्रोडक्शन होगा, ये है वो है. राइट. देयर आर ओनली फ्यू फैक्टर्स आई नो. उसके बाद किसको पता है कितना बाढ़ आया, क्या हुआ, बहुत सारा चीज अनकंट्रोलेबल है, राइट. तो इंसान कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता है, वेदर एंड ऑल. देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स दैट आर नॉट इन कंट्रोल ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. एज मैथमेटिशियंस एंड somebody like me who also loves maths, we think कि सब कुछ इक्वेशन में डाल देंगे. होता नहीं ना. मैं जनरली बहुत लोगों को बोलता हूँ लाइफ इज अ मैथ, बट मैं खुद जानता हूँ कि आई ट्राई टू जस्टिफाई अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, स्पेशली जब घर भर में लड़ाई होता है तो मैं ऐसे ही जस्टिफाई करने का कोशिश करता हूँ. लाइफ इज अ मैथ, प्लस माइनस. वो ऐसा होता नहीं. इमोशंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और वो सब बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड भी है.
No, if everything goes on the plan, it's perfect. It's max works, but risk is involved.
Life is not a math. Simple. I have a very good friend who keeps saying me that to prove that everything is a math. I usually prove him, but still, a lot of things are not math also. So हाँ, Black's Scholes पढ़ सकते हो. वो basically then it will start getting into time value of money and all. That works in a perfect world, but we don't live in a perfect world. अभी जैसे कोविड में सब चार्ट सब उल्टा पुल्टा हो गया, सब एनालिसिस किया भाड़ में. There are many such unknowns nowadays.
Just a small curious question for considering current market. I think futures market will be really bad now, right? How the prediction works, because if more volatility is there, I don't think so they will be able to come to some common agreement, right?
Yeah,
It depends
in the
what
real
period
world,
you're looking at also.
But in the real world, what is happening is gambling, right? There is liquidity. It's basically somebody, all are speculating. There is no hedging going on. So now basically what the word Kunal used is, as a farmer, I was hedging. Hedging means what? To minimize my risk. These are all risk management concepts. Hedging means to minimize my risk, that how I can control my risk. So as a farmer, my risk is that I produce 5,000 kgs of wheat, but I'm not able to find a buyer. To reduce that risk, I did the agreement. I have an agreement if mera maal bik jayega. And as a baker, I have a risk that I may not be able to get it from the market. That he also hedged his risk. But in the real world, the actual value of outstanding derivatives is nowhere near to the supply. So now, if you look at it logically, I should only be allowed to trade on 5,000 kgs of wheat, right? But in the futures market, instead of 5,000 kgs of wheat, on the same wheat, not one but 1,000 contracts are written. So basically, physical settlement possible ही नहीं है. So on the last day of settlement, what will happen is we will do a net settlement. What is a net settlement? In a net settlement, basically what will happen is, I am the farmer. I agreed to sell you 5,000 kgs of wheat at 20 rupees per kg. And you are the baker. You agreed to buy it at 20. Now on the date of 16th August, the actual price is 22, which means the baker won, right? Because you agreed to buy at 20. So the baker should have given me 20 into 5,000, 1 lakh. And then the baker will sell it at 22. So basically the difference is 2 rupees. So that difference of 2 rupees, 5,000 into 2, 10,000 I will give to the baker. If reverse happens, the price is 18, baker will pay the farmer.
Yeah.
So that is called net settlement. This was the problem happening in the crude market that we were discussing the case study, right? In the crude market, what happened is people had done so many contracts. Now, finally, this guy, farmer who had 5,000 kgs of wheat, he is forcing the buyer, baker, saying, "Bhai, tu wheat leke ja because मेरे पास जगह नहीं है रखने का, and I don't want to spend for the storage." The buyer is saying, "भाई मेरे पास भी जगह नहीं है रखने का, क्या करे?" बोल रहा है, "तू भाई अगर तेरे को नहीं चाहिए तो तू मेरे को $35 दे तो मैं रखूंगा पर बैरल." ऐसा हो गया था सिचुएशन. स्टोरेज का कॉस्ट भी है ना.
Right. And guys, I think this is one thing I would like to add over here is these derivatives, forward contracts, future, all these were built for the risk management tool, or let's say the hedging tool. But I think these big investment banks and traders have converted into a trading tool.
Exactly. सही पकड़े हैं एकदम.
Yeah.
And not just trading tool, the amount of volume and the madness that is happening, right? I am so surprised that less than 2% of the world's population understands it. Maybe not even 2.
Yeah,
That is
even
so-
I would say that the current market cap of the derivative industry is probably 2,000 times or 20,000 times bigger than the equity market or any other market.
No, there is no market cap, right? That's all gas, right? Because
Yeah. I mean, even if you let's say you try to have a market cap of the derivative industry, it would be probably 20,000 times than the
there
current
is no
equity
market cap. That's what I'm saying. It's just gas. But yeah, in reality, it is in at least 500 times more than your world GDP. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that? How can you have something which is 500 times? So this is basically called leverage. Okay. And if you guys understand leverage समझाया था मैंने. Spring देखा है? Spring टॉपिक इंटरेस्टिंग हो गया इसलिए 10 मिनट ओवरबोर्ड हो गया. But have you guys seen a spring?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you press it and then leave it, how it jumps, right? Similarly,
Yeah,
this is
that
what
is-
leverage does to the market. So basically, a very simple example. I have my in derivatives. What happens is you can invest 1 rupee and 99 rupees you can take as loan and do a trade. Now, if the profit is 10%, so basically you invested 1 and the profit is 10. It looks very nice. 1000% return. एक का 11 बना लिया एक दिन में वो भी. Look at reverse situation. You lose 10%. एक जो लगाया था वो तो गया घर से और 9 भी
you
जाएगा.
can lose. Yeah.
Again, so this is just one example of how leverage plays both ways. So the way when your broker talks to you, right, if he's trying to cheat you, the way he will explain is, sir, profit देखो profit, but loss भी देखना पड़ता है.
Yeah, and again these brokers, they make money from how much you trade. वो हर ट्रेड पे आपका पैसा लेंगे. आप चाहे लॉस करो चाहे प्रॉफिट करो, ब्रोकर को तो अपना पैसा मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. So never ever believe brokers. I would say that.
एकदम सही. So basically for this you should read the gold rush. Okay, in the 1870s when the gold rush happened in California, a lot of people went there. But you know who made the most money? Tell me now. You guys have understood the concept. Nimit, तू मत बताना. Let somebody else guess.
Can you repeat your question, please? Because there was a lot of lag.
No, I
Okay,
think
the question is, in the 1870s or whenever there was a gold rush in California, in
Correct.
Australia, when
Correct.
people went for the gold rush, Kunal, also you should not answer this. Okay, you are also commodity.
I think
So
Isha
there was
did
a lot of
also
gold.
went.
Wait. There was a lot of people who went for the gold rush, but the people who went digging for gold, maybe out of 1,000, maybe 1% found the gold. But there was one guy who was doing a sure shot business. He made a lot of money. Who was that guy?
Who was exciting people to dig for gold?
Yeah, but what was he doing? He was exciting, तो उसमें पैसा नहीं मिल रहा था ना, तो और भी करना पड़ेगा ना.
I mean, at the end, he was acting like a broker. I don't know the exact story, so.
Like
Yeah,
they,
but broker,
I think
not the story. This is not the story. This is the real world scenario. दिमाग लगाओ. What was he selling? Gold dig करने के लिए क्या चाहिए होगा? अरे गोल्ड डिग करने के लिए क्या चाहिए होगा? सिंपल सोचो ना. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. जो गोल्ड डिग करने के लिए जो फावड़ा है, जो बेच रहा था वो सबसे ज्यादा पैसा कमाया. कि भाई उसको गोल्ड मिले या ना मिले, मेरा तो फावड़ा बिक रहा है ना. वो तो बोलता था कि यहाँ बहुत गोल्ड है, सब आ जाओ. 1,000 की जगह 10 लाख लोग खुदाई करो.
So this is what is happening, like with the way people are selling their mask.
Yeah, so now this applies to everything, right? So human behavior doesn't change. See, I was a student of finance, then I became a student of history, psychology. I'm also studying technology. But yeah, basically, all of these are interrelated. So everything finally comes down to human emotion only. How human beings will react in a certain situation.
True.
And you will always see the good and the bad coming out. So even in this COVID crisis, a lot of people told me, or some of my friends told me, अरे सब अच्छा होगा, देखना लोग सुधर जाएंगे. मैं बोला भाई कुछ लोग सुधरेंगे और कुछ लोग they will show you the worst also. तो अभी हो रहा है ना, बैंगलोर में ब्लैक हो रहा है. 5 रुपया का चीज 50 रुपए में भी बेचा है. सब्जी बेची है लोगों ने 5 रुपए केजी वाली 50 रुपए केजी. किसान से शायद वो 2 रुपया केजी में खरीद के लाया होगा. ये सब कुछ हुआ है.
Nishant, ये point, the one which you just said, that 5 rupee thing is being sold at 50. So because of this forward, coming back to your example of farmer and baker. Hello.
अरे अंकल लोगों को नमस्ते कर दो, अंकल आंटी लोगों को नमस्ते कर दो सबको. नमस्ते बोल दो तो आओ. हाँ नमस्ते बोल दो. चलो तुम भी सिखाएगा सबको फॉरवर्ड.
Hello. Namaste.
हाँ सॉरी go on Akash.
Yes, so your example of the farmer and the baker. So that means a party will do this forward thing. One thing is that he is sure that there will be either a profit or loss. He just wants to manage his risk. That's what I understand. And the second.
Akash, sorry, I have to go and give her to my wife. Otherwise, she won't let me do anything. Okay, just 2 minutes. I'll come back.
No, hi, this is Kunal Akash.
Yes.
My understanding is they obviously, they would want to make a profit and not a loss. But in order to avoid a loss, they will also keep risk mitigation strategies. So it
Is
is
there?
not either make a profit loss or just to block my risk.
No,
It
there.
would be to make a profit, but to avoid a loss, I will also put in place risk mitigation strategies.
Yeah, that's what I understand. So it is like to
Yeah.
minimize their risk of loss that they will do. But I wanted to know that from Nishant about the like today, for example, if yeah, so Nishant, so the point is that today, let's say that this the scenario which you explained happened, and let's say that the farmer is on the profit side and the baker is on the loss side. So how will the baker in later, like how will he recover this? Like will he change his selling price? Like will this have a trickle down effect? Is what is my question.
No, no. So see, in this example that we discussed, right? We discussed how to do a forward contract. Now,
Yeah.
how the baker recovers it is completely up to him, right? He can either increase the
Yeah.
price, or even if he is buying the wheat, see, he has already locked in the price, right? At 20 rupees per kg. So if he
Yes.
had bought it, if say, so in your example, you are saying that as on 16th of August, the price of wheat is 15 rupees per kg. So the
Yes.
farmer ended up paying, the baker ended up paying 5 rupees into 5,000 kg, 25,000 rupees extra he paid, right? Now, but he has bought wheat at 20 rupees per kg, knowing fully well, if I am a businessman, right, he will also have common sense, knowing fully well that his cost, including baking charges, etc., is 30 rupees per kg, but he is selling bread at 60. So उसने अपना profit already जोड़ा होगा. It is just that instead of, if he had bought it at 15, instead of 30, he could have made 35 rupees as profit. But he is happy at 30 because next year फिर धंधा करना है, right? Next year he knows कि it can go opposite also. So he needs to have a long-term relationship with the farmer. Na? So remember, the businessmen who survive in the market are the ones who have a long-term perspective. तुम ये सब करोगे. So my father had a rice business. Okay, we used to buy from the mills and we used to sell 100 boras and all. So I didn't get much time to talk to him. But a few of the things that he used to always say, right? That okay, I can do cheating once. So basically, how it used to happen is we used to also trade in forwards in the real life. Basically, say my father has bought the rice from the mill at 20 rupees per kg. So he will have the retailers with whom he will agree a price of 25 rupees per kg. Now, if the price went up, so I already agreed, and then next day something happened and the price went to 27. My father never used to go back on his word. He used to ensure that he will give that rice to that guy at 25 rupees per kg. But there were people who used to not agree, who used to not keep their word when the price used to go to 23, because that time they had already agreed with my father to buy at 25. So with those people, what used to happen is after some time, my father used to stop trading. So they will lose their market
Correct.
reputation. So now my father is not the only trader, but he will have other traders as friends, right? So word spreads very fast. कि वो बंदा के साथ डील किया 25 में, but अगर भाव गिर जाएगा तो he will not keep his word. Just like my father, there will be 50. Now there will be 10 guys who are okay, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो भी वही करते होंगे. But there might be 30 who will not do it. That is how the business runs.
And also, Akash, one more thing. These forward tradings are to manage your risk and hedge your funds and have a certainty in your business. Think from the business perspective. If you know that I'm going to purchase the wheat for 20 rupees per kg, so I can clearly put my cost price for my bread as well, and I know how much margin I have to make out of it. So there is no uncertainty there. So there is no point of making a loss or making a profit when actually the 16th August came, because the businessman knows that I have bought it for 20 rupees and I'm selling it for 30 or 40 rupees, so I'm making already my margin, I'm making already my money. So
And
there is no point of crying about it that okay, the price went down or price went up, because that's what the reason forward contracts and future contracts are for.
exactly. And just to add to that, this अभी मेरे दिमाग में चमका ये. Now actually the baker will not do only one forward contract, right? वो भी अपना माल आगे forward बेच देगा. So he has agreed to buy wheat at 20 rupees per kg. उसके cost of production including electricity सब कुछ है 10 रुपया. So total cost to the baker is 30 rupees. Transport cost 5 रुपया. So total cost 35. So वो क्या करेगा? He will do a forward contract with the bread that he produces at 50 rupees per kg. उसका मार्जिन 15 जोड़ लिया, वो 50 रुपए में वो किसी के साथ फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर देगा. दैट गाई जिसको उसने ब्रेड बेचा वो अपना अपना फॉरवर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा. समझ रहे हो?
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब ट्रिकल डाउन इफेक्ट होगा उसका, कि एक को अगर प्रॉफिट होगा तो वो प्रॉफिट जुड़ता जाएगा और एक को लॉस होगा तो वो
प्रॉफिट कैसे होगा यार? अभी भी प्रॉफिट नहीं है, राइट? रेट फिक्स्ड है. तो बेकर ने अपना लॉकिंग कर लिया. कॉस्ट ऑफ परचेज ऑफ व्हीट एट 20 में ही आएगा माल. वो बेचेगा 50 में. उसने वो लॉक इन कर लिया. 20 रुपए केजी व्हीट का रेट, 50 रुपए केजी ब्रेड का रेट. अभी वो ब्रेड तो कस्टमर खा रहा है, तो कस्टमर को पता है मेरे को ब्रेड इस रेट में मिलेगा. दैट्स इट. अभी इसमें गेम तब होगा अगर वो फार्मर धोखा दे दिया, व्हीट दिया नहीं, then it breaks the chain. But then the market works because there are more suppliers. So there is not one player in the market. If there is one player, the market will break in one default. But because there are thousands of bakers and thousands of farmers and thousands of customers, the market doesn't break. एक दो जन को लॉस लगता है, मैनेज करते हैं अपना.
ओके,
अभी भी डाउट है?
नहीं, इट्स क्लियर, मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है. सो इट्स बेसिकली द, मतलब बीच बीच में जो लोग हैं उनका प्रॉफिट्स ऊपर नीचे होते रहेगा इसकी वजह से.
अभी
नहीं
प्रॉफिट
होगा.
कहाँ ऊपर नीचे हुआ भाई? उसने अपना प्रॉफिट फिक्स कर लिया ना. उसको पता है कि अगर मेरे को
फॉर
20 में
एग्जाम्पल, if I set it, मतलब if when I set it at let's say 30 rupees, और अगर I am getting it at less price, so the जो आपने बोला था कि जो उस दिन के
ये तो
हिसाब,
हाइपोथेटिकल है ना आकाश. वही बोल रहा हूँ. एज अ बेकर दिस इज अ हाइपोथेटिकल, राइट? या तो फिर रिस्क लो, तुम फॉरवर्ड करो ही मत. वेट करो, जिस दिन तुमको व्हीट खरीदना है उस दिन के रेट में खरीदो, फिर उस दिन के रेट में ब्रेड बेचो. तुम स्पॉट पे खेलो, तुम फॉरवर्ड करो ही मत, तुम हेज करो ही मत. जो होगा देखा जाएगा.
So Akash, I can explain. मैं explain करता हूँ.
नहीं, एक और एग्जांपल देता हूँ. नहीं निमित, मेरे को अभी जाना है, फिर तुम.
हाँ.
1 मिनट. हाँ, मैं बस जाऊंगा.
हाँ, sure.
सॉरी. तो एक फाइनल एग्जांपल. जब फॉर एग्जांपल तेरा एक घर है, बोल रहा है कि इस साल मैंने होम इंश्योरेंस के लिए 50,000 रुपया दिया, बट कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, तो मेरा 50,000 डूब गया. ठीक है, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर इंश्योरेंस मत ले. घर डूबा तो डूबा, तू कुछ हेजिंग करी मत, रिस्क पे खेल. जो भी इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट है, ऑल दीज डेरिवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स आर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट प्रोडक्ट्स. मैनेज योर रिस्क. भी वो मैनेज योर रिस्क से कुछ और बना दिया, वो छोड़ दे. ठीक है, इंश्योरेंस में तो वैसे भी कर नहीं सकते, उसमें कई कंट्रोल्स है. इसलिए हमारे हीरो लोग ने सीडीएस बनाया था, वो एक दिन कवर कर लिया. बट सी या, सो आई विल एंड इट हियर. तो आकाश, अगर फ्यूचर क्वेश्चंस है तो अभी निमित बता देगा, नहीं तो मैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में बताऊंगा. कल मैं फ्यूचर्स डिस्कस करूंगा. Just do 2 things for tomorrow. Read over forwards and any questions, please ask. You can put it in this forum. I think this is open all the time. I can read the chats historically. Everything is here.
Nishant, another question. You wanted us to prepare, a detailed kind of an analysis on some companies. So I've done that analysis on Bandhan Bank. So are we going to discuss it tomorrow, or do we share whatever we have made on the chart, or how do we do?
No, let's discuss it. So,
Okay.
but are we going to do it tomorrow? So let people tell.
I don't know.
You guys, what does majority feel? Like, do we discuss Bandhan Bank tomorrow and continue with derivatives next week, or continue with derivatives tomorrow? Yeah, you guys want to think about it and think on WhatsApp?
I think we can continue with derivatives since we have started the topic, and let's continue it, and then maybe for the next week we can take this case study.
Yeah, fine, because derivatives are quite exhaustive.
Fine.
So fine, we can think about it and come to a common consensus.
Okay.
I think Ayush wants
That's
to continue with derivative. Take a vote and see whatever the majority wants.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry guys, got to go now. You guys can continue. Okay. Thanks guys. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Hello.
Yeah, Nimit.
Kunal.
I think we can continue the discussion on
Yeah,
this.
I think we can continue derivatives tomorrow. Yeah, that's fine.
Because anyway, I think I'm not investing anyway on as of now in Indian market. I think it's better to hold. wait for the another crack.
Even in the Nasdaq, I think it's better to hold right now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay, then yeah.
I think it's a time
that's
to
fine. We can continue on derivatives tomorrow.
Yes, fine.
Sure. And just one question, guys. This is Nimit. Are you guys finding it interesting or worth enough to continue with the derivatives? Or I mean, just wanted to take a opinion of everyone.
I think for me it's really interesting. Some open points. I've opened my eyes for some sectors now. I was not able to I was not even aware of some few things.
Yeah, me too as well. I had no idea about derivatives, and this
Yeah.
seems to be informative. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the whole idea from that was I was thinking about to know more about the other areas of investment tools as well. So I think it's good that everyone feels like that. Then we can continue in the same fashion, continue with the derivatives, and then once derivatives are completed, we can go into the other
Other
assets
topics.
as well. Other
Yeah.
assets as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I have one question here, Nimit. Maybe you can answer me. This
Sure.
future dating is there, right? This future dating, is it possible to date it for 1 year or 2 years also? Like let's after maybe Corona period goes
No,
out.
actually, no. In futures, there is a contract of 1 month, and after that, roll-over period starts. Means you can continue that contract for
But
next
maybe
expiry.
yeah,
Yeah, that
you
is
might
called
pay
a
a lot
rollover.
of
Insurance.
yeah.
Yeah. When okay.
Yeah, but lot of investment and lot of margin required for that.
There might be a lot of premiums.
Yeah,
So the longer the duration, especially now with the corona, the longer the duration, the more premiums you'll pay.
Yes, and Ranjit, the future market is a very risky market. I would say that, and you never know where you can go. And again, people play, the traders play in the future markets based on the sentiments only. So it can go anyway. So if you are looking from, if you want to invest in future markets, do your due diligence. I would say that have some technical analysis understanding as well, so that you understand where the market is going. It is very important. The technical analysis is very important in the future trading.
And even experts who have been in, I don't know, many years in this thing also lose quite a lot sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, future currency commodities days are the markets where we have seen people losing their whole account as well. So
You can win a lot, but you could lose even more.
it is very risky. Again, as I said earlier as well, these markets were built as a risk management tool and to hedge your risk. But these investment bankers and then these big traders has converted into the trading commodity, and people are, who the smart people are making money, but the naive people, they lose a lot in these markets. So do your due diligence before investing in these future
Yeah.
options and the other markets.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I
Okay.
have to go. Sorry, I have to go. I have another commitment. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay.
I think we have
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye. Have a
Thanks.
good day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.
Ranjit,
yeah, Kunal.
I'll call you separately.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, bye everyone. Bye.
See you. Bye.
bye. Take care. Bye, guys.